Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Emma. I am a freelance writer and blogger, and today I'm going to share the secret of how I find work as a freelancer. So without further ado, get out your notebook, get out your pen, and let's smash it. So when you go freelance, the biggest concern you have is where you're going to find your work. And once you've got one job, you can't rest and enjoy, because then you're constantly worried about where future jobs are going to come from. So I like to make sure that I always have a plan, that I'm never starting each month on zero on my revenue spreadsheet, that horrible revenue spreadsheet. And I'm going to share with you how I manage to do that each month, and more importantly, how I manage to make sure that the work I'm getting is work I like, work I enjoy, stuff that helps me reach my goals as a creative person and a business person as well. So tip number one, it's the tip I always give. I've given it in several videos, and also I think I may have done it in a couple of blog posts, and that's cold pitch emailing. I swear by this, and I'm going to say 3 or 4 of my very best clients I got through cold pitching, and they're recurring clients. They come back to me each and every time. They have the best projects, and they're some of my ultimate favourite people to work with. So cold pitching is mega. I've actually done an entire video on cold pitching and the technique that I use in detail, which I'm going to link for you up there in the little pop-up notification. But just to go over it briefly here with you now, I don't cold pitch just anyone. I don't send out a blanket email to as many email addresses as I possibly can, throw as much shit at the wall and hope that something sticks. Oh no. I specifically choose who I'm going to pitch to. I do a lot of research. Who do I think is going to be a good fit for me in terms of approach, portfolio? Who do I really want to work with? Who do I think I'm going to gel with best and my skill set fits and my portfolio fits more perfectly? I take that list and I write an email specifically for each of those people. Each agency or business or individual that you are pitching has a specific, like I said, approach and portfolio. So you're going to want to make sure that you're pulling out key skills that you have and experience and projects you've done that fit to that specific MO, if you will. So I'll say, oh hi, I'm a freelance writer, I'm really interested in working with you. I think I can help with X, Y, Z. I've done projects like this before and have experience. Examples are X, Y, Z. Here is my rate. Here is my availability. Here is my number. I'd like to hear from you. Love, Emma. Their sign-off is specifically important because you're including a call to action. You're asking them to get in touch. You're telling them what you would like them to do. You're giving them all the information that they need. So even if they're not going to pick up the phone and call you right now, they have your rate, they have your availability, and they have your number. So they know how to get hold of you. And don't think that you're just going to fade off into obscurity after you've done this. I've had an agency contact me, when was it? A couple of months ago. I cold pitched them over a year ago. Only once I sent them an email, and the guy got back in touch, said, look, we've saved your details, we've got something we think you'd be a fit for, are you free, do you want to work on it? I said yes, and now I'm one of their clients' preferred writers. So I get all of the work for one of their specific clients, which is freaking awesome. It just goes to show that cold pitching really works, especially if you do it properly. So that is probably one of my ultimate best top ways for finding work, and not just work, recurring work. My next tip is a little bit scary, almost as scary as cold pitching, and that is networking. Networking, if you're a writer or a creative or anybody introverted, is horrific. It's a horrific ordeal. The point here is that who you are on paper and your portfolio is really only half the story. The other half is you as a person. People like to hire for cultural fit as much as they do for your hard and soft skills. So when you get out and about and you meet people in prospective clients in business or even prospective allies, I network with a lot of designers and copywriters, and they give me work and work with me as well, so I get just as much work from people in my own line of business as I do from prospective clients. And I let them meet me, I chat with them about what I do, what I love to do, what they do, and when they hear the passion and what I've done and they meet me, it makes them feel more confident then to reach out. You have to understand that for businesses it's a little bit weird to reach out to a complete stranger on the internet. They have no security, they don't know you, they don't know if you're reliable, you could rip them off. You know, they're taking a big chance when they reach out to you, but not if they've met you in person or they've got somebody that has met you that can vouch for you personally. And I get a lot of work that way as well. Also, you know, I look a little bit funky, and I find that people need to meet me and chat with me to really know that I'm not gonna mug them or sacrifice a chicken. A couple of my networking favourites are Enterprise Nation. They hold startup events, women at work events, a ton of events for people that are freelance or have started their own business. They're really, really handy and you get to meet a lot of different people. I also regularly attend Copywriters Unite. I mention them in a few videos and a few blog posts. That networking event is solid gold because I get to meet all of my favourite writers from the UK. I've made a ton of friends. People refer me, I refer them, we work together, and it's really great to hear all of their ideas as well and what they're working on. It helps me to regenerate my creative mojo as well, so it serves a dual purpose really. So those are two of my favourites, but I do try and get out and about as much as possible because otherwise I'd live in this room and I'd never leave it and I'd never see anyone ever. Next up is to do your own thing. I get work from my blog and my videos because people read my stuff and they get a really good feel for the way I write and the way that I conduct myself, as it were. They can see how I structure posts, how I fill it with keywords and links, and just get a feel for my writing style. And I've had a couple of clients in meetings ask for me to write for them in exactly the same way that I write for myself, and obviously I said no, this is my tone of voice, we can do kind of a similar thing but that fits you better. But people have actually quoted my own blog posts and videos back at me, which is insane. It's so weird, but it's really cool. And so I would highly recommend investing time in your own stuff. It really showcases your skills and your abilities, and the traction that you gain from your own stuff works as a demonstration for them. They can see that the way that you write and the way that you do things really does work, and obviously they're going to want a piece of that, you get me? So try and make time for your own stuff. My final tip is another awkward one, and I apologise, but when you have to go out and get business, it usually always is a little bit awkward, isn't it? Because you're asking people for something and it's weird. My final tip is to always stay in touch. If you've worked with someone a couple of times and a few months have gone by and you've not heard anything from them, do fire them off an email and say, hey, how's it going? I hope business is great. I've seen that you've done X, Y, and Z recently. Looks amazing. I have availability coming up and I'd really like to work with you again. So if you have anything you need any help with, I'm going to be around. Just hit me up. There's no shame in rekindling that and keeping that lead warm, as it were. You can also do this by having an email subscribe on your own personal portfolio website. So if you are producing your own content like videos and blog posts, you can fire off every month maybe a Reader's Digest email. Oh, here's what happened, here's what I've been working on, here's what's going on in the industry, I don't know, something that adds a little bit of value, and that way you're constantly popping back up in that person's inbox and they can see what you've been doing and you're staying front of mind. Or you can just do what I do and just fire them off. Usually at the end of the month I do it because they're kind of looking forward to the next month and what's going to be happening then. So it's a good time to get in touch, I find. But I have a list of people that have gone cold or dropped off, and I just pick it back up again with a friendly little email. How they're going? I'd really love to work with you, so let me know. I had a great time last time, you know, what's going on? And I always keep those people warm so they don't feel weird about contacting me if they need something, and also so I don't lose them, especially if there's somebody I really did like working with. I don't do this with everyone, I only do it with the people that I really want to reconnect with. So it's definitely worth doing, and then they will come back to you. They do reactivate, I promise, because I have reactivated people just with a friendly little email, so definitely worth doing. I hope you found this video useful. I know I did. If you've got any questions you'd like to ask me, you can leave a comment below, or you can find me on Twitter at EJCownley, and I'll chat with you there. I do love it when people get in touch, so get in touch. And until then, I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you back here, same time, same place, next week for more Kiss My A's. Until then, take care.